Myself Shefa Shah from IT department, and we are going to continue with the lecture series of microprocessor and microcontroller. In the last session, we have discussed about the interrupts programming and how to interrupt a programming in assembly language, that is interrupts which we have discussed for Atmega 32. Now, there are three external interrupts also for Atmega 32 through which the user can also interrupt. So we will, in today's session, we will see the external interrupts programming in assembly, and then we will see how to programming interrupts in C language. So let's start with the topic, that is external interrupts and programming of interrupts in C. So first, when we talk about the external interrupts, so what does the external interrupts here? There are total three interrupts, that is INT0, INT1 and INT2. The INT0, that is external interrupt 0, that is on PD2, that is port D second bit. Right? That is the alternative function of input output ports, which is port D. Then second, that is INT1, which is stands for the PD3, that is port D third bit, and INT2, that is PB2, that is port B second bit. Right, so there are total three external hardware interrupts, that is INT0, INT1 and INT2, which are situated on PD2, PD3 and PB2 respectively. Right, now upon activation of this pins, the AVR is interrupted in whatever is doing and jumps to the vector table of the to perform the interrupt service routine. So as we have discussed in the last session, right, we have discussed the timer and counter interrupts of the using this Atmega 32. Now in today's session, that is with the help of external interrupts, which is INT0, INT1 and INT2. So also this external interrupts, as we have seen in last session, interrupt vector table, their addresses are also predefined, and whenever we need to give this interrupt, we need to specify its address at the top of the location, right? So whenever the interrupt has been generated, it will jump onto that particular address where the service routine has written. Okay, so now there are external interrupts, that is INT0, INT2 and INT1. So it has a respective address, that is INT0 stands at address 2, then INT1 at address 4 and INT2 at address 6. So whenever we need to use this particular external interrupts, we need to use with the help of these addresses in the interrupt vector table. Now these are the INT, whenever whatever we have seen, that is it is affected with this INT0, INT1 and INT2 are located in the GICR register, that is general interrupt control register, right, where this particular bit has been set to 1 for, so that the particular interrupt of that bit will be set aside. Right, now if we want to, for example, if we want to generate an interrupt, that is INT0, send the fourth bit at INT0, that is when we load, that is fourth bit with 1 and rest of the bit will be 0, then we will have a data 0x40. Right, so at the bit number 6 bit, at the bit number 6, that is INT0 pin, so whenever we need to enable this external interrupt, the INT0 pin will be set to 1 in this DICR register, right, using this in and out register instructions. Right, so as you can see, this both instruction, that is LDI R20, 0x40. So we are making this sixth bit of GICR register equal to 1, and this R20 is loaded into the GICR register using the out instruction. Right, now this INT0 is a low level triggered interrupt by default, which means a low level signal is applied to PD2. The controller is interrupted and jump to the location or at address 2 in the vector table, and with the service routine has been written over here. Now let's see an example based on this external interrupts. Right, so here it has been saying that assume that INT0 pin is connected to a switch which is normally high. Right, write a program that toggles port C third bit whenever INT0 becomes low. So here we need to monitor this INT0 bit of this particular GICR register. It is initially it is high. Whenever it will become zero, and then at port C third bit we need to generate a data which is toggled off that particular bit. Right. So here, as you can see, first we will initialize this initialize using this dot include directive. Then we will include then we will write main program, but main program will start from 0x100. So what we will do is 0.0.org 0 at the 0 address we will write an instruction that is jump main. So it will jump to the main program. Right now here we are using this external interrupt that is 0, which is at the address 2. So here we will define the address.org 0x02. So whenever there will be an interrupt request generated, it will come onto this particular label where 0x02 will define that INT0 has been generated, and it will jump to a service routine. Right, so it will jump exo underscore ISR. That means external interrupt 0 underscore as a service routine where it has been written. Now, in the main program, what we will do is we will declare the port C as an output port, as well as we will define the stack pointer in initialization. So as you can see, the first 4 lines we have defined the stack pointer using the SPH and SPL. Then we are making port C third bit as a output port. So using SBI instruction, SBI DDRC, comma 3. So we are making the third bit of port C as a output. Now, again, we are monitoring this port D, it is INT0. So we are making this port 2 as it is normally high. So SBI port D, comma 2. So port D, now it is initially high, right? Now we will generate an interrupt, right, which is INT0 at GICR register. So we will load this one register, that is R20, using LDA instruction. One shift left, that is INT0. That means we are making the INT0 pin as a 1. And this particular data in R20 will be shifted to GICR register using this out instruction. And last, SCI will be enabled, that is set interrupt. Right, so whenever the interrupt will be set, it will go to the .org 0x02, but it will find that it will have to jump the label that is ex0 underscore ISR. Now in this 0 underscore ISR, what we need to do is we need to first of all take the data from port C. So in R21 comma port C, then what we need to do is we need to toggle the third bit. So the third bit has been made 1, and rest of the bit will be 0, and that particular data is XOR with the data of pin C. Right, so again LDI R22 0x08, right, that means the third pin is right now 1, and then we are making this EOR operation, that is XOR operation, with R20 and R20, R21 and R22. So the third bit will be toggled, and that particular data will be transferred to port C using the out instruction. So out port C comma again R21, and last instruction will be RETI, that is written from the interrupt. Right, so this is how we can write the assembly language programming for the external interrupt using this INT0. Now, next we will see the interrupt programming in C. So in the last session, we have discussed about the timers programming, right, in assembly language, and we have seen the different programs related using this timer. Similarly, in today's session also, we have discussed about the external timer, and we have seen the assembly program. Now we will see the C programming for this interrupt. So similarly, when we want to set a clear interrupt, here there is the instruction CLI and SCI, right, that will set and clear interrupt whenever it is required. Now, before we write the program of interrupt, here we need to include a library file for the interrupt, that is /include and in the bracket avr/interrupt.h. So all the interrupt libraries will be included in the C library for Atmega 32. Right, and using CLI and SCI parenthesis, we are making this clear interrupt and the set interrupt. Now, here in this table we have seen, right, in the last session we have discussed the various addresses related to this timer and counter interrupts. Now in this we are how the vector name can be given to this particular interrupt has been defined over here. So whenever we need to find, let's say first that is the external interrupt 0. So for external interrupt 0, the vector name is int0 underscore vec. Similarly for 1 and 2. When we are using for timer counters, the interrupt that is timer whatever the number is, either 0, 1 or 2, underscore. If we are using the overflow flag, then underscore OVF underscore vector. And if we are using for the compare flag, then underscore COMP underscore vector, right? So these way we are calling this function whenever we are using the particular interrupts in C. Now, the third step, we need to define ISR. So to write an ISR, that is interrupt service routine for an interrupt, we use the following structure. In this following structure, it has been written interrupt service routine ISR underscore into bracket interrupt vector name, which has been taken from that particular table, which we have seen in the previous slide. And we need to write our programming C. And for interrupt vector name, we must use the ISR names. For example, if we are using this timer 0 compare mode match, then timer 0 underscore COMP underscore back. So that particular vector name which we have seen in the previous slide, that are used as per the requirement of the program. Clear? Now, let's see an example related to this. So use timer 0 to generate a square wave on pin PB5, while at the same time the data is transferred from port C to port D. So here we will include two files. First, that is the avr.io.h, and second, that is avr/interrupt.h. So we are including this both files for interrupt programming. Now we will write the main program. In main program, we are declaring all the variables, and we will write the program for transferring the data from port C to port D. So here we have defined the port B as an output port. Then second, we have defined we are using this timer 0. So we are loading this TCNT 0 and TCCR 0 as per the timer requirement, right? Timer delay and as per the timer requirement. Then we are making TIE0, that is timer overflow flag in TIMS key equal to 1, and we are setting the interrupt, that is SCI. Right here, now we are declaring DDRC as an output port, input port, and DDRD as an output port. And here we will write while 1, so continuously the data will be transferred from C to D, that is port D is equal to PC. Right now, whenever there will be an interrupt, so in the ISR underscore, here we are using timer 0 in simple mode, that is normal mode. So timer 0 underscore OVF underscore VECT, that particular vector name we will use over here. So with the help of this name, we can say that the timer 0 is used in a normal mode. Now here we will decrement the counter, right, up to 0, and we are making this port B5 as a toggle. So here we are making this port B is XOR with the data of port B and 0x20. The port B XOR equal to 0x20. This is the self operation which is performing on that particular operation, right? So this is how we can write the C programming for the particular timer. Now, second example, here we are using the timer 1, and we are again making the same program using the timer 1. So what we are doing is, but here we are using this in a compare mode. So here we have declared all the variables in the main register, right? And here the main program will be same as this particular, but instead of TCNT 0, here we are using the OCR 0. And in the this flag, here we will include this timer 0 underscore compare underscore match. Right, in the program, but it is not a timer 1, it is a timer 0, and we are making the same program for the compare match. Right, so that's all for the today's session. Here we have discussed and completed the interrupt programming in assembly and C, where we have seen the different interrupts, that is timer 0, timer 1, timer 2, and its basic theory and its assembly programming in the last session. And today's session we have discussed about the external interrupt programming, as well as we have seen the interrupt programming in C. Right, so that's all for today's session. We will meet in the next session. Thank you for watching.